The legendary Hollywood star Marilyn Monroe died 60 years ago, but her legacy lives on. Due to her unmatched popularity, the blonde bombshell garnered a massive fortune for herself. Here's how Marilyn Monroe spent her fortune. Marilyn Monroe's fortune and spending. Monroe was and still is one of the most famous celebrities in Hollywood. She's known for her roles in movies like Gentlemen Prefer Blonde and Some Like It Hot. Although she was famous for her dumb blonde persona on the big screen, she was more than that. She was a talented woman who made a great fortune for herself. Unfortunately, her brief life ended tragically. At the time of her death, Monroe was single and didn't have a child. She died with a net worth of $800,000, which would make $7 million today. The 7-year It star made less than $3 million from all the movie projects, in which today's money is around $24 million. The reports about her life revealed that the star also started her own production company, Marilyn Monroe Productions, with photographer Milton Green in the mid-1950s. As the most famous actress of her time, Monroe lived a very lavish life. Most of her money was spent on expensive clothing, jewelry, and her home. Apart from spending lavishly on herself, reports claim that Monroe also spent on the people around her, including strangers, buying them expensive jewelry and clothes. Monroe was a very generous person. She not only spent her money on herself, but also gave a lot to her friends and employees. Apart from this, most of her money was spent on her home, and by the time Monroe's estate was settled, it was reportedly worth just $370,000, which would be about $3.5 million today, as one source reveals. Hang tight there, cause we're just starting to tell you about Marilyn's fortune. Before we move any further and give you more details, do be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to get more video updates like this going forward. Now let's continue on. Who received Monroe's fortune after her death? Monroe died young at the age of 36. She was found dead in her Brentwood home. The investigations revealed that she died due to an overdose of sleeping pills, and the death was called a probable suicide, but that was never believed to be the truth. Even though Monroe was very young when she died, she still had a will in place, and the way she allowed her wealth to be distributed was very generous. The reports revealed Monroe left $10,000 to her longtime assistant and half-sister Bernice Miracle. Monroe also set up a $5,000 education fund for Miracle's child. In addition, Marilyn's mother, Gladys Baker, struggled with mental illness ever since Monroe was a child, so she left $100,000 for the care of her mother as well. As per the reports, Monroe left her physical properties and 75% of her intellectual properties to her acting coach Lee Strasberg and his wife Paula Strasberg, who had been like surrogate parents. According to Anthony Summers, who wrote the book Goddess: The Secret Lives of Marilyn Monroe, Lee Strasberg and Paula Strasberg took Marilyn under their wings and gave her uncomplicated privacy and companionship. The remaining 25% of her intellectual property rights were left to her therapist, Dr. Mary Ann Chris, reports suggest. According to Sarah Churchwell, the author of the book Many Lives of Marilyn Monroe, Monroe felt that Chris was very helpful and sympathetic. She found that Chris was starting to help her understand what it was she was going through. After Dr. Chris's death in 1990, her percentage of Marilyn's estate was given to the Anna Freud Center in London. The Anna Freud Center is a well-known organization that works on mental health issues related to children and aims at improving the well-being of these struggling children. Sarah Churchwell wrote in her book that would have made her really happy. She did want to do good, and she wanted to feel as if she had accomplished something. Now what about the remaining 75% of Marilyn's estate? We'll tell you all about that right now. Monroe becomes the highest paid dead celebrity. What happened to the remaining portion of Marilyn's estate is truly perplexing. In 1967, Lee Strasberg, after his wife's death, married the 28-year-old actor Anna Mizrahi, and when he died in 1982, his young wife Mizrahi received the 75% portion of Monroe's estate. It gave her total control of the estate, so she started making money off of her estate. As per the sources, over the years, Mizrahi signed countless deals that allowed the use of Monroe's signature and image for use on thousands of products and endorsements. She hired CMG Worldwide, a company specializing in managing dead celebrities' estates, to license Monroe's products. The CEO of CMG, Mark Rosler, revealed, "We did hundreds and hundreds of programs with companies like Mercedes-Benz to Coca-Cola to fragrance to clothing, giftware, collectibles, paper products, things like that." As a result of all this, according to the report, Ms. Rahi made Monroe one of the highest paid dance celebrities in the world. She would create Marilyn Monroe LLC, and in the 4 years between 1996 and 2000, she made more than $7.5 million in licensing revenue. In 2011, Ms. Rahi, who is now 81 years old, sold her 75% stake to Authentic Brands Group in a deal that has been estimated to be between $20 and $30 million. Well, this is how a woman who had never met Marilyn capitalized on the stake Marilyn bought with her fortune. So that's the end of our video, guys. This was everything about Marilyn's fortune and her spending. If you want to know more about the life of the blonde bombshell of Hollywood, go watch the recently released movie Blonde starring Ana de Armas. Until the next video, take care and goodbye.